Absolutely. Well, yesterday was the completion of the trial being brought forth. And the jurors came in, the jurors gave the paperwork to, we really actually kind of missed Gotti's because we was all, I don't know what we was, it was like Sean's girlfriend had came in, wasn't his wife, that's his wife, had came in, Bumpers,
Hmm.
and the girl, it was a whole bunch. She was like, I want to sit next to her. So she asked me to scoot over so she could sit next to Mama Dukes. And so I scoot over. And then Mama Dukes got up and moved. And by then they were up reading the verdict, but we were all into what they had going on over there. So when they had said Gotti was not guilty, we didn't even hear that. We missed all that. All we got was Sean's was when he stood up and she said, guilty, and gave all of his information about, what it was, what she was gonna sentence. I mean, dealing with him.
Right.
So then we all look at each other and they said he wasn't guilty on none of his charges, and we was like, what? So then Mom Dukes go into a convulsion. She just like, what? And we all like, huh, what? Like, we all at this time we just
Were
like
you
ready
in
to
the
just jump for
courtroom?
joy.
But
Huh?
were you in the courtroom when they read it or no?
Yes,
Oh, you were.
I was in the
All
courtroom.
right. So I want to play this clip because this is the clip when the judge read the verdict from the
Yes.
jurors.
Mhm.
Mr. Kendrick, you have been found not guilty on all charges. Mr. Stillwell, can you please stand? You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are officially released from further service, and I cannot express the degree of thanks that Fulton County owes you for your service. Given the length of this trial, you have paid close attention this entire time, and I appreciate your devotion, as I'm sure do the parties in this case. You are welcome to stay for the sentencing, or you can return to the jury room. I would like to speak with you in just a moment in the jury room. If you all do want to stay, you're welcome to stay. Is there any objection to the form or the legality of this verdict? Any from the defense? All right. All right. Is there any reason that we can't go ahead and sentence? You may.
I stood down, 10 toes down every day, day in, day out. I stood by my son. It was his decision to not take the plea. And I said, whatever you want to do, I want to do. He said, no, I ain't taking the plea. He didn't take it. And we stood down. I prayed. I thank God for all the supporters all over the world. People who were supporting me, texting me, DMing me. I appreciate the love, and the love. All the prayer warriors, I'm thankful. God is good. He did his big one. They used my son rap lyrics against him. How dare they do that? It's the freedom of speech. They just did so much corruptness in this case. And they threw things against the wall and it didn't stick. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I just got so much emotion right now. I'm full, and I'm full. Day in, day out, going to work, having a personal life, coming back down here, sleeping in the courtroom. They having to wake me up, doing this thing over and over and over again, repetition. Every day. Every day. My son stood up 30 months. My son stood up. And we was victorious. I'm thankful to God that a mother love went beyond your world. And I'm thankful. I never gave up on my son. Never. He said, Mama, I'm not taking it. I'm standing up. And I stood right by him every day. Every day of the week, I stood by my child. And he said, no. And I said, I'm going to stand with you. I'm going to stand with you to the end. And we stood down to the end. You never give up. No matter what started against you, you never give up. Never. And he stood down. And I'm right here every day. Every day I stood up with him. I prayed with him. I told him, son, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. I'm thankful to the people all over the world that prayed, gave me encouragement. He gave me encouragement. Big Jeff, Miss Sylvia, everybody around me. Taylor, Cole. I got so many people, my family members in Miami, Florida. Everybody that gave me hope and encouragement. And Monte stood every day. He watched them say bad things about him and disgrace him. And I had him and I raised him. They divulged his character. They said bad things about him. But we got the victory. In life, you never give up. Never. You never give up, no matter how bad it looks. God said he'll make your enemy your footstool. To the hills where my help come from. I had bad days, I had good days, I had emotional days, but I damn if I was gonna give up. And I'm thankful for everybody that's been around me in my life who encouraged me. I'm emotional beyond words. I am emotional beyond words, beyond measures. A mother love. I never will give up. And I taught him that to give up, never give up. No matter what the traditional system say about him, never give up.
Listen, I felt that emotion, and you're talking about 2 years. No, has it been? It's been. It's almost 2 years. Almost 2 years.
Right.
And as a parent, like that's a lot. That's a lot of stress. So speak on that, because you know her.
So the thing about it is, in her fight, is in what I've been watching out of her, is that she when I say she a strong woman, she a strong woman, like strong. I mean, very strong. Even like for his birthday, they didn't show it on the news. The news was out there. We sung happy birthday to him. You know, we did a rally put on by Empress. She's a blogger as well, and she came down from Chicago and put on a protest. And the protest happened to fall on his birthday. And so we all out there singing happy birthday. We all out there praying. We all out there, you know, just sharing the emotions with her. And for her to have to endure the things that she has endured, I'm just blessed that to see it all come to an end.
Right. Yes. And in her favor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Because not only just in her favor, because, you know, right now you are, and everybody knows that Gotti was stabbed inside of this trap house, this jail that we've all been talking about. And so just to see the outcome of that as well, because this is what we've been talking about. You know, it's just so happened that the day or so before him coming home, he gets stabbed, you know, and then they didn't even want to treat him. They didn't even want to take him to the hospital, you know, and he needed staples. And so,
right.
Just to watch, and the victory is not even over. Like, she's still going to get victory out of him being in that jail, being prosecuted in there, being attacked in there, being, you know, taken advantage because of the guards. Probably ain't no telling what really went on behind them bars with the guards and, you know, other inmates and everything, the harms that they put his life into. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
So you've been on this platform a lot, and you have been very a vital part, you know, talking about what is going on in Fulton County, Fani Willis, Fulton County Jail, Sheriff LaButte, all of the corruption that is going on, and in the YSL case, the case is over finally. But yeah, there's still a lot of residue left.
Yes.
Just real quick, because I did see a clip of one of the jurors being interviewed by a podcaster, and one of them was saying most of the overt acts were Instagram pictures. A lot of us kind of feel like, I'm not about to put nobody in jail for Instagram pictures. So when we look at Fani Willis, and I want to swing into Fani Willis, her office, you know, what what did they have? Why did they think they was going to get a conviction, from Young Thug and his co-defendants? Because they were really trying to use the music against them as their evidence. That's what it seemed like. They was using their evidence. They was using Instagram. They were using entertainment as their evidence.
Right. So as people can see, and if people are not paying attention, which I know they are paying attention, and this right here exposed the corruption. It exposed how people view Atlanta, view Georgia. When you take music, when you take pictures off of Instagram, Facebook, or who's with who, that's a lot down here. That's all Georgia is made of, is who you in the picture with. So now, and if we are going off of that, because I hope she's ready to stand on what she just put out, because she put that out now. She put the pictures out. She put that, you did a RICO on pictures. You did a RICO on music. You did a RICO on all this stuff. So I hope that you are ready to eat what you sow, because there's a lot of stuff right now coming down the pipeline about pictures and her involvements in other things. You'll get to that later on in some other interviews with some other people, but some stuff is coming down the pipeline that we are all finding out, that is right now being brought to all of our attention. And I start paying attention from the people that you'll be bringing on, here soon, but it's that's what Georgia is made of. And so when you have, and I hope that this wakes people up to see that, stop doing that. Stop looking at people's Instagram. Stop looking at people's, social life and say, oh, they doing good, or they doing this, or they got this going on. They got money. They got this, because you don't know what these people are going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what these people lives they really live in. These people, this is Georgia. Everything out here a lot of stuff is made up. That's why I always tell people, like, I'm 10 toes to the street. I'm on your platform. Why? Because I'm in the street to give you the information. A lot of people can't come on your platform and give you nothing because they ain't doing nothing. All they doing is on social media, jaw jacking and pushing what somebody else put out. I'm in it. I'm standing up there with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I may not be there every single day because I'm on the other end pushing out stuff that they're not doing. I'm at the jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the board of commissioner meeting. I'm where they're not. And where they can't be at the time because of them being in trial, and them being in the position that they in. But trust me, I'm working on the back end.
Right.
I'm not going every day hard for that jail, and knowing that I knew they were in there. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Young Thug, from day one, when Young Thug first went, we went hammer. We went in. Why? Because she went after Young Thug, leaving the officers that killed Jimmy Atchison, Jamal Bryant. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Nigel Collins, just a lot of families, Kane Rogers, that's out there, that their loved ones have been killed by police brutality. And she said she was coming in to do this. This is the reason why a lot of them voted for her, because she said she was going to do something that Paul Howard wasn't going to do. And she failed the community. And now she wants to make a makeup by saying, oh, I went and got Young Thug some gang members. You're the gang member.
Fani Willis.
How you going to go get,
Fani Willis.
Yes, Fani Willis is the gang member. Like, how are you going to go and get a gang member when the streets is talking about what you do with the gangs? Who you done slept with in the gangs? You know what I'm saying? Like, the streets is talking. So come on with the okie doke in the hoodwinkle, trying to get us to believe lies about people that you're directly involved with. How do you know about gangs? Because you are sleeping with the gangs, from what the streets say and what the receipts we got.
Well, when you look at the evidence, when you look at the evidence that they were presenting to try to prosecute Young Thug and, the other co-defendants, it wasn't solid evidence. So you are wasting taxpayer dollars. And like you said, when she first was running to be DA, it seemed like she was running on she wanted to come in and clean the swamp, but she was the swamp. You did
She
not
was.
prosecute any police brutality, whether
Mm-mm.
and she's a Democrat, right?
Mhm.
So,
Rat,
so
Democrat. Yes, she is. Mhm.
yes. So speaking of Fani Willis, Georgia payback machine, Fani Willis resists subpoenas by state lawmakers over Trump prosecution, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
she recently was ordered by the Georgia Supreme Court to
Mhm.
release all communications she had with Jack Smith and the January 6th committee to plot the RICO case against Trump. So the
Mhm.
court also declared that she violated Georgia's open records law. Um, the court also hereby orders defendant to conduct a diligent search of her records for responsive materials within 5 business days of the entry of this order. Within a
Mhm.
5-day period, defendant is ordered to provide plaintiff with copies of all responsive records that are not legally exempted or accepted from disclosure. So listen, you had Ashley Merchant. She sued Fani Willis' office via
Mhm.
open records because she wanted to look at those documents, and she won that lawsuit. And now Georgia Supreme Court is saying hand it over.
Mhm.
And also, you have not showed up. You were subpoenaed, and you refused to show up to be subpoenaed. And on top of that, you were in the courtroom on Tuesday when all this went down. She didn't
Yes.
even show up to Tuesday hearing.
Nope. Didn't even show up. We were right in the courtroom. Stayed there. Her investigators, they were there. She has some private investigators, but they came in, looked. Me and Miss Sylvia was there, and they walked out.
Where was Fanny?
Who knows? She wasn't there.
Right, because she thinks she is above the law.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, it's
Pretty much.
we don't know what is going to come out in the open records that she has to hand over. We don't know what is in those communication documents.
Hmm.
But me and Judge Brown, he was talking about that on Monday night. He was saying it could be possible money laundering. It could be a lot of things. So
Well,
I'm
we
here.
know that it is going to be something big because of the simple fact of the whistleblower's case. So
Mhm.
we know that it's most definitely is going to be something that they most definitely want to hide. I have the same problem with Sheriff LaButte for his open records. They keep giving me the runaround about his as well. So we're all dealing with the same thing when it comes to Fulton County. I just found out that Ike Arrington and Sheriff LaButte's wife are god brothers and sisters. And so this is the reason why they're going so hard. I just found out we're finding out so much. I'm not going to put it all out just yet. Your platform will be the first platform though that I will allow to release
Mhm.
the stuff that's coming down the pipeline. You guys will get it first before anybody, before even the news. I'm gonna give it to you guys because you guys have been so supportive of any information that we've had, any exposure that needs to happen in Fulton County. You guys have put it out, and we're just grateful and thankful for you. So we're going to make sure that when what is about to be placed and put out about Fani Willis, you guys get it first.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And again, you have an organization, streetgroomers.org, correct?
Yes. Yes.
You're in the streets, and this is what
Absolutely.
people need to understand. Yes, Trump was elected president, but he's president of the United States. He has a whole bunch of other stuff to worry about.
Hmm.
People need to understand you have to be informative, and you have to advocate for yourselves locally where you live at, because there's a lot of corruption that people are not even aware of that
Absolutely.
can one day affect you or your family members, especially when you're talking about the criminal justice system, the court system. So
Absolutely.
Fulton County, Fani Willis, her office is just one of many. And that's why I really do appreciate you putting a spotlight up their
Hmm.
ass.
Hmm.
Put that flashlight up
Absolutely.
their ass to expose what is going on. So maybe people in other cities and other states can follow suit and do the same thing. Like our voice should be heard, and it's very important that this exposure gets out there, because
A lot of people fear it. They're like, oh, like even the news. I've had the news tell me, like, you're not fearful sometimes. I have to ask you this because you're coming up against all of them. And I'm like, I said, so are you telling me that these people are more powerful than God? Because I don't fear nobody but him. And he has given me order what to do. I didn't even know none of this was coming down the pipeline. God just told me that this was going to be the year of exposure. And I know for those that don't believe in and or might not be in a conversation with God, I do. I stay in one with him constantly. And so I'm led by the things that I do and the things that I say. So it's not personal. It's all about what I'm doing in the street. This is for my community. This ain't for me. Just like I had to take down a group of homeless men that were veterans down to the city council, but to talk to the city council to let them know, like, they need help. Like, these are our veterans. And then just to get the blessing about today, to see that Trump is about to give them back pay for their work that they have done, and they deserve it. So every veteran that is out here homeless will be able to now have a steady home and not be on the street when they fought for our country. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unheard of. That shouldn't even never have been or be, somebody that have fought so hard for our country, regardless of what their circumstances and situations is, because some of them do have mental illnesses. They do have mental health, you know what I'm saying? Situations going on, but they should not be subject to, because you have a mental health situation, be taken advantage of and be out on the street. Exactly. There should be somewhere for them to go. And so, just advocating for my community is what I love and enjoy to do. And so this is the reason why I go so hard. This is the reason why I don't fear nobody, because these are God's children. These are his babies. And he's not going to allow nobody to play. That's just like even with if it ever flips and they get their stuff together and they want to give their life to God one day, give it back to him, and get they self right, because right now they wrong. They all the way wrong. I don't know if it's because of the position that they working in. I don't know. Maybe it's too much power for them, but get yourself right. Because God he'll still love you through your madness, but you got to get right. You can't do his people wrong.
You have to get right. You have to do right. Right. That's your job. That's what you sworn to do. That's it. Listen, thank you again, L.A. Pink, for always taking the time out to come on. You always hit me up with, breaking news. So there's a lot of stuff. This is not over. It's not over. And you will be back on soon again. And I want everybody to go to streetgroomers.org and support.
Yes. Or even Street Groomers, the number 1 is our Cash App, our LA Pink 2728. Like, show some love to us so we can continue out the mission, so we keep going, even though we're gonna go regardless, because hey, if God's in it, we win it. So
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Kingdom blessings.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.